Okay, so let's have a look. It's actually, yeah, I really like this bout. It's a bit older. It is from 2001, but it's got Milanoli, who's a bit of a French grip legend, as it were. He was known for doing a lot of antics, and I believe this tournament isn't. He had a clown mask up until top 64. He won his 64 bouts, and then in top 32, they forced him to switch to a blue mask. But he does have a really interesting style as to where he really gets in your head by doing nothing, very tactically. And he's also, he's very loud. He will actively just try to mess up with your rhythm. I believe that this is his commentary is in German. It sounds like German. I'm pretty sure it's German. Either way, it's already more entertaining than anything David King would ever come up with. But look at how the distance is really hidden. And then when he waves his blade, right, when he goes up and down, so let's watch, he'll get a little bit closer to see if there's opportunities. So be very worried of Millinoli when he starts waving around, 'cause that's when he gets closer. Hiding in plain sight, as it were. And then we'll see here, look how right, so here, like super far distance. Now he drops his blade. Watch him open the distance. And he knows his distance so well. Boom. Boom. Right, so it's also like an insane lunge. But right, drops his blade, hides the distance, sneaks in just enough, goes in. We got to keep in mind this is also just an insanely long lunge. But one way, right, if you can't find your distance, just hide. See, so you can kind of see, so you can see like right here, right? And then foot lands. It still looks relatively non-threatening, and acceleration. Even with a retreat. So it's also like just again, just this is an absolutely monster of a lunge. And you see, like, out of distance, just doing nothing. Well, not nothing, but like just kind of being very nonchalant. So let's. I believe we get a better angle on this one. So we don't get quite to see. So he shows 6, right? So he'll do a big circle. So right, same kind of preps in. See, no blade. Blade is hidden. Our opponent's blade happens to be in the air. So this is also very smart. So when someone's hand is that high, right? Odds are you're not getting a 6 again. Like, if he does a 6 here, it's going to be huge and right way off mark. So he goes in, takes it's more of a cutover, I see it. And that goes over the 8. And he reaches in with his long, long lunge. You can really see, like, they're actually pretty good angles. I love that. And the 8, just nothing's in time. Our friend here just freaks out. Poor guy. So here, you're in such a mentally, you just got attacked twice, from so far away. I can see Hoffman is seems to like the blade a lot. So you see after this, right after like you put a lot of tension, he even just releases it himself. He just says, you know what? Let's take 5, and then he surprises again. And you see the reaction. Okay, so let's replay this, right? Release. Let's surprise him. We see the 8. Let's get the to me this is Millinoli like just getting into a position where he can surprise his opponent. Like really, really good use of the time. Keep in mind though, this is before passivity was it more of a thing, if at all. I believe in that time it was subjective to the ref if they thought there wasn't any fencing. And our surprise hit comes up. Right, we know that if we slow things down and then speed them up, we're probably going to get an 8. So this hit, in my opinion, right, because he's starting more or less the same, right? So you can see right here, it's a little faint, but right, that light step forward. Oh, it's going to be that low line again. Nah, I'm just kidding, dude. And just textbook low high. So the reason we got that reaction is because we established so much credibility with our previous hit. One here, one at the on the high line, one on the low line, and now and he also established that there would be a big reaction if provoked. Overall, just absolutely beautiful, beautiful fencing. So you're like Hoffman, like is really worried about the blade, but not okay. He actually just goes straight. So this is kind of hit. Like it's a double. Like the French grips, we take those. We know those all day. Look how he's just taking his time. Obviously, like, does he need to use this? Like, no. But like Millinoli would just take his time to do anything. Anything that might even ever so distract the other guy from the actual bout. Right? But oh my god. We get the 8 again. So we establish that if we scare him, we're going to get that again. Then we just leave the distance and do nothing. All right, then the 1 minute break. If I was coaching Hoffman, personally, I would definitely tell him to just ignore the blade. You really want to go straight. The parries aren't working. Just your only, one and only goal is to really go straight and ignore all the, let's just say the BS in front of you. So there, yeah. So as I said, like he's really looking heavily for the blade. All right, he kind of panics. He's like, "Oh no, there's something." That nope. Oh god. Like obviously, like Hoffman's like by no means a bad fencer. Like it's maybe the matchup is a little hard. So not to take away from Mr. Hoffman's achievement. Right, so we're relaxing. I would imagine we're going to get another low high soon. But like, I gotta say, like, I've tried doing stuff like that, and standing like that, still not reacting when someone is kind of like even trying to sneak into the distance a bit. Ah, and see, to relax into that scare. right? And this is borderline, like this is basically premeditated. It's not quite as clean as the last one, but it's still pretty clean. And instead of like a 10 out of 10, it's like a 9.9 out of 10. Hoffman knows he's in trouble here. As here, Milanoli's up 6-1. He's kind of got his opponent's game. But like this is very typical. He'll just stand around and wait. So this is how I this guy's this I don't know if that's his, I don't know the guy very well, but well, okay. So that was like both in part a bit of a myth. So Millinoli is doing a bit of a flick to the side, but like it was just flick to the side. Actually, maybe flick to the flank. It was a little bit disrespectful, but if you can find timings like that, I think that's where Hoffman would absolutely just slaughter. But easier said than done. Like Millinoli will not give you anything to play with. You're fencing him, not the other way around. Or he's fencing you, not the other way around. Oh, let's see that one. So that one's a bit hard with the angle. Boom. So he doesn't really show low, just kind of like a high. He just goes in, but like again, it's playing off that 8 that we saw. The 6 was too late, and we're good. Right, nice high hand. So let's reiterate here. Look how, right? So we're going in a bit of extremes, right? Low into pretty dang high, right? The finish is high, and look how late the parry comes, right? Because of that good technique. Nice high hand. He barely hits. So nice high hand, high finish forces that second parry to be huge. Man, this must be so like he's just standing there. And right, so and then like if you're Hoffman, right, your only real answers there are you need to either right you can flesh straight if but like if you're behind you might get a parry on you or you counterattack maybe a double and then while you're trying to prepare he might just attack you in prep. What a monster. So obviously right he's behind in my opinion he's still like the I don't feel like I feel like he's react Hoffman is reacting a lot and Millinoli's just really in control of the bout. Look at the distraction. There's some way blade waving. There's some six. Right, look at that. So Hoffman just barely misses. Right, there's a lot of things that distract Hoffman from the actual bout. But that's one thing. Just remember, right? Really good. When you're fencing, everything that's happening is mental energy or physical energy or just distraction that take away from the bout. Both for you and your opponent, right? But if you're waving, your opponent has to read that. If you're doing nothing, your opponent has to read into that. The important part is that you're doing that for yourself, not for your opponent, right? You are working with it, and it's working for you, not against you. Ah. So here, right? So this kind of really close, but like what kind of bothers me here is that Hoffman still looked for the blade, but he still got it just because Millinoli got way too close on the prep. But the forward action too close. And there you go. Right, he really stood up on his legs there. That's better. So like, look at the stern difference. Step, aggressive step. Hoffman wants to go in. Looking for a single, but like doubles work here. As a French grip, you love those. So both of them look to be in the right. Ooh, you wanted to hit here. So overall, just half step both to the arm. For Millinoli, it's great. For Hoffman, 2 minutes left. Oh boy. So we're going back to that default plan for our attacks on the prep. These will come out more, right? There's 2 minutes left. Hoffman has to do something, and he has to react. It's the 8 again. So we're going to go back. Just see, it's a little late. Right? Like, it's just a little late because he got just distracted enough. Right? So 6. Right? So look at that. So this 6. The distraction came. Right? So that 6 got his attention up high. And you see how Hoffman goes swinging wide for 6? He swings so high before doing the 8, and he's late. Big circle top to go into low. This could also be like I don't think Hoffman meant to like have his blade so up, but right, it gives a nice sweep for that. Actually, looks like a second, but it's just a little too late. So, right, that tiny distraction gives him that tiny little edge at the end to get just this beautiful hit. Wait, that was a single? Oh, French grip power. Oof. So does he just? I was just a little late. The arm was maybe a little late. Wow, unlucky on that one. Well, so with that low arm now too, right? If someone is really, really, really afraid of attacking you straight, if they look for the blade, right, it can get predictable. He's gonna have to look for 8. The distance is big enough to where Millinoli can take a seating 4 and just barely hit it. But either way, very beautiful. So that's just really good distance. Millinoli takes a lot of lessons. But like if you look at that, right, it's kind of when to hit the hand, right? The hand can only be at so many places. So if you imagine like a starfighter cockpit, the hand enters that cockpit and Millinoli just kind of like throws his tip out. And Alliance, we take those. I don't think he's like in that moment. I don't think he went like, "Wow, I'm already zoned in on the hand," but it was within that range of motion. Now pressure's on. He's gonna do his. He's looking happy. You get the 8 again. Just beautiful. This one, like Hoffman's just looking a little mad at everything, but he did just miss. I think he just missed. Oh, his tip might have been loose. But they take the win, right? And then we'll see here, right? Millinoli puts on his clown mask. Pretty iconic. It looks so cool. Right, well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you made it through the end, I appreciate you watching these videos all the way through. Go into Discord, and let's keep going. This is always, if you find new bouts, feel free to join the Discord. Even honestly, just put them in the comment. I'm happy to listen. Happy to look at new bouts. So thanks for watching, and have yourselves a great day.